Hi everyone, it's your girl and host Lorelyn Martin. I'm with Lorelyn's Gourmet Desserts. I'm the founder of Lorelyn's Gourmet Desserts as well. And welcome to our third episode of Kitchen Talk. And I'm so happy to be here today. Hi, how are you, gorgeous? We have Salvatore Inc. That is your handle. How are you, beautiful? So nice to see you. Hello, are you in Toronto? And if you are, we should definitely get together soon for lunch or dinner or a drink, whatever. I'd love to see you. You have such amazing energy. Hi again. Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. Toronto is beautiful. The weather is gorgeous, and it's obviously summer. We have Alyssa Salvatore. Hi, how are you, girl? You're so, I'm so happy to see you. Thank you for tuning in. So guys, thank you all. I know I've made some announcements on Facebook and Instagram. So moving forward, we're going to have these lives on the Lorelyn Martin Instagram and Facebook handles. Okay, guys, just to keep it simple. I know a lot of you follow myself, and also please follow my page, Lorelyn's Gourmet Desserts. Today's episode is something that is very, very dear to me and also to many of you out there that live with food allergies, know someone that has food allergies. Guys, it is a growing epidemic. I've lived with food allergies for now close to 20 years. Over 20 years, because I was diagnosed when I was 27, so do the math. So over 20 years I've been living with food allergies, and at the time, you know, guys, I didn't know many people out there with food allergies. I thought I was just, you know, one of the anomalies, but it has, you know, increased over the years. 1 in 2 Canadian households today are affected with food allergies, and you know, that's significant. I know plenty of people whose, you know, families are impacted with food allergies, children, kids, adults. I mean, I got it onset, you know, my food allergies today are anaphylactic. I am anaphylactic to eggs and sesame. So, you know, that's huge. I haven't had any medical I guess, check-ins in regards to my food allergies to see whether or not I could eat eggs today. But I've been eating eggs, you know, since I was a little kid. And so it just happened out of nowhere. I was at a dinner party. I was at a lot of, you know, I was eating out, as we all do sometimes. We all, you know, enjoy. And I was at a friend's dinner party, and I had to be rushed to a hospital. And so that was really the turning point in my life where I thought, okay, you know what? I know there's something serious here, and then I got checked out. You know, I got checked out by my naturopathic doctor that did about 300 allergens, and that wasn't just food. That was actually a lot of food, but also environmental allergies as well. So I wanted to get a very comprehensive test done. And as well as I've seen a medical doctor. So, so guys, today's topic is of huge importance. It affects, I believe it affects everyone. Whether you're impacted directly, you know, with your own food allergens, or you have a family or a close relative or a friends that have food allergies today. So I've seen over the years that food allergies have increased significantly. And you see that, you know, when you're eating out in restaurants, when you are buying products at the grocery stores and retailers, I would also assume with beauty products as well, is that they need to state, and I don't know about beauty products, okay, but I would think that every single product that you apply on your face and on your skin, as well as that you are ingesting, should also have labels in regards to the top allergens, because that's actually, I don't even think that beauty products out there, or even lotions and oils, I'm really going to test this out, actually states, you know, food allergens. It's not even just food, but it's also, you know, it could be topical. It could be something that you don't have to necessarily ingest, that you could breathe, for example. So today's topic is part 1. It is of huge significance and importance. 1 in 2 Canadians are affected with food allergies. And in the United States, 1 in 13 children are affected with food allergies, and 1 in 10 adults. So that is significant. So those are stats that have been put out there by FAIR, which is a nonprofit organization in the United States, as well as Allergy Canada. So there's Food Allergy Canada as well that you can check out. There's a lot of nonprofit organizations out there, such as FATE as well, and Natasha's Foundation. There are Oakley's is another nonprofit foundation as well. So there are plenty of those nonprofit organizations that are really informative as well as impactful. So I will leave you guys with some of those information to the websites where you can also cross-reference, and get some information as well on how to live with food allergies and how to also just more awareness that needs to be presented. So guys, today's episode, and I want to thank everyone for tuning in. It's Friday in Toronto, and it starts at 12 p.m. Hi, Prince Harold. How are you? Sorry, guys, I'm going to be naming you based on your Instagram handles, and I know this is going to also be posted on Facebook as well. We're going to talk today and discuss about, living with food allergies and food allergy awareness. And for those of you that are tuning in, I've lived with food allergies now for almost 20 years. More than 20 years. And I started my business, Lorelyn's Gourmet Desserts, because of that. It is something that I wanted to give back because I like to indulge. I like my sweets. I like my desserts from time to time. Not all the time, but I do love to indulge, and I do like eating healthy, and I love food. And I couldn't find any cookies or muffins or brownies out there, or cakes or any pastries that removed the top food allergens. And so when I was diagnosed 20 years ago, I was diagnosed with the top 7 food allergens. Eggs, wheat, dairy, corn, rice, soy. I'm missing something else. No, that's it. Wheat, I did say that as well. I removed everything else. Canola, so I had to take anything that was canola. Corn was something that obviously is not on the top list, but I had to also remove that. So I had significant food allergies: eggs, dairy, wheat, corn, soy, and rice, and gluten. So I had to remove all of those from my diet and my lifestyle. And you know what? It was really, really difficult. It was extremely difficult because I had to eat mostly at home. I had to bring certain foods with me because if I was eating out and let's say, I was at a friend's place or a dinner party or an event and they didn't have any foods that were available that accommodated my food allergies, well, guys, you know what? I had to pack my own food. I had to bring my own food. And that's okay. I mean, that is something that, I didn't get depressed. I was just, maybe a little bit sad, but I just, you know what, guys, I didn't let it, I didn't want an event like that or a life-changing event like that to really ruin my life, and so I just turned it into a positive. Guys, I can have all the amounts of protein that you can think of, vegetables, so I ate really, really clean, okay, but also very delicious as well. So yeah, significantly, I couldn't have rice, and I'm Asian, I'm Filipina, and what I was eating was mostly potatoes, rice, sweet potatoes, and vegetables. So, hello, Pika Plate just joined. We have Sam Chalk, Toronto Real Estate. Hi, nice to see you. We have Mangio Wap. Thank you so much for always sharing my stories and my posts. I really appreciate you, and thank you guys for all your support over the years. So what I want to talk about is, let's talk about the top food allergens, all right? And in the States, sorry guys, I'm just, so in the United States, the top food allergens are milk, eggs, fish. It's different than Canada. Milk, eggs, fish, crustacean shellfish, tree nuts, peanuts, wheat, soybeans, and sesame, okay? Those are the top allergens in the U.S. Canada priority allergens are eggs, milk, mustard, peanuts, crustaceans, fish, sesame seeds, soy, sulfites, and wheat. Those are the priority allergens for Canada. Really, really interesting. When it comes to, for example, food labeling and food packaging, when you're out there and you have food allergies and you know someone in the household has food allergies, it could be, your children, your spouse, anyone in your household that has food allergies. Guys, it is a peanut allergy, for example, because my goodness, like there's peanut butter, there's all kinds of nuts and exposed allergens in so many products that you bring into your household, right? So in regards to the food allergens, these packaged goods have to be correct. They have to know exactly when it is packaged, and whatever is stated on the package. There's two things. It contains, and then there's may contain, right? May contain is very tricky. The may contains are, I'm going to say, it depends on the seriousness of your food allergy. You have to be very, very cautious. And if you are absolutely like, okay, guys, you know what? I don't want to die. I don't want there to be a fatal situation. I would just avoid the product altogether. All right. That is my advice. So with the food allergens that I just noted, the US and Canada are slightly different. Okay. Food products out there that are packaged, that you buy at the grocery store, that you buy anywhere, you should really, really read the labels, the ingredients, and also even visit their website, okay? So for example, I'm going to tell you, like, let's say you're going to Tim Hortons, right? And, you're allergic to, let's just use me for example, you're allergic to eggs and sesame, all right? I am anaphylactic to both. And by the way, guys, I'm going to get into what you should have and what you should always carry with you. Always in your purse, in your bag, or what have you, always carry, your first aid kit for food allergies if any situation is to occur, okay? So, for example, let's just use Tim Hortons. For example, it doesn't matter which cafe you go to. I'm just going to use that as an example. Let me think. With food allergies, it really starts with educating the staff. The staff has to know exactly where to get the information if someone has a food allergy. This has to come from the head office. Head office has to make sure and ensure that their staff is fully trained on what to say to people when they come in with a food allergy. So if I come in and I say, hey, I would like to have a croissant. Let's just use, Tim Hortons as an example. I am highly allergic to eggs and sesame. Let's just use that because I am, and I could die if I have any of those ingredients in the product. They have to know exactly what to say. They have to know exactly, they need to have all the information at the store level, maybe online. It's better that they have these booklets available inside the restaurant or the cafe or wherever they're at that is available, all right? So I can't remember, but I just know that based on experience, guys, I've been living with food allergies for about 20 years. And I'm going to say if someone doesn't know, I can tell right away, and I have huge doubts in my mind. I won't even trust. It's either a yes or a no. There's no black or white. It's black or white. There's no middle ground, okay? So yes, it is very serious. I had a very serious episode last year, and it was a protein bar, okay? And in this protein bar, I'm not going to say the company, but, it stated everything, all the ingredients, but I had an allergic reaction, and sometimes those things happen. And I felt it right away in my throat, and I felt that I couldn't breathe well. And, it scared the crap out of me, of course. And I was with my fiance at the time, and I said, listen, I'm not feeling well. We got to go to the hospital. And I knew immediately, and thankfully, St. Joseph's Hospital was really just down the street. Thank God. I was not feeling well at all. And I went through the whole scenario of, them injecting me with the epinephrine. Oh my gosh, that was life-saving. But I have to say that it started off with a protein bar. And I said, I'll never have that protein bar. And it could be even the stevia. The type of stevia. Guys, I don't know what's going on in today's world, but I am going to say that not all ingredients are created equally. And you have to just be careful. And I always believe that, guys, if you have even one episode, let's just say you have never been tested and you have an episode of a food allergy and you're like, okay, that was a one-off. Guys, I wouldn't even risk it. Not even for a second. And I would always carry, and again, I want to show you guys here that, you want to be fully equipped. And I am someone that has lived with food allergy for 20 years. So 2 EpiPens, okay, 2 epinephrine auto-injectors, all right? I grew up with asthma as a kid. I don't have asthma now, but you never know. But I always have 2 different inhalers, okay? So luckily, I've got a sister who's a nurse and another sister who's also in the medical field as a nutritionist, a dietary nutritionist. Obviously, both graduate from university. But anyways, I have access to all of these, okay? Not just through them, but I'm just saying that they are very informative when it comes to these types of things. Before I used to only carry 1, now I carry 2. They always say carry 2 epinephrines or EpiPen, and then your Benadryl. I always carry Benadryl with me in my purse. Wherever I am, wherever I'm traveling, I carry about, I would say, a whole pack of these. Not like I'm going to take a whole pack, but it's very important that you carry Benadryl, and you can get Benadryl anywhere at any pharmacy. So really, really important, Benadryl, okay? So what was I getting at? Hi guys, hey Chris Rain, Ron Com. Hi guys, thank you guys all for tuning in. Thank you for the love. So yeah, if you're just tuning in, today's topic is living with food allergies and food allergy awareness part 1. All right. I went through the food allergies in terms of the US and Canada, slightly different. Okay. And again, my story. So the reason why I started Lorelyn's Gourmet Desserts was because of my food allergies. I was diagnosed 20 years ago, over 20 years ago, with the top 7 food allergens. Okay. So what I want to talk about is, and what I want to share with you is my experiences of living with these food allergies. And I am anaphylactic to eggs as well as sesame. So those are the 2 allergens that I'm highly, 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 if it's exposed, I cannot even be near, sesame, for example. Even the smell of sesame really, really bothers me. And that's very scary. And so for me, I have to be really proactive. So my advice is for you guys that are out there, either avoid the party, the place, the event, anything that has to do with severe food allergies. And I know, there are families out there that have, children that are obviously impacted with food allergies, which is, it's mainstream today. I'm going to say that it wasn't as mainstream 20 years ago, but it absolutely is more mainstream today. And you have to be more proactive. You have to find out exactly, for example, let's just say you are going to a party. You want to know exactly what type of food's going to be there, what's available. Let the event organizer be aware of your food allergies. That's really important. And you also want to bring maybe your own food or your own snacks with you just in case, right? I always do that. And if I'm going out to eat at a restaurant, well, guess what? I look at the menu, I research the restaurant, I see what I could eat, so I know right away before coming that I am prepared. And if I have any questions, I would make the call and speak to the manager or someone who is in charge that is very knowledgeable. Let them know, by the way, I have food allergies. What can I eat? So I would be very, very proactive about those things. All right. Hi, guys. Thank you all for tuning in. And this is all going to be posted on Facebook, by the way. I do want to share it with everyone. Just some, I'm just going to share some of my experiences to all of you. It's really important that, as a organization, whether you're a corporate big company or an independent restaurant or cafe or what have you in hospitality, right? food allergies today are so important. So maybe put out a sign. Put out a sign saying, hey, certain products have these ingredients that are top food allergens. A, you can have this. B, you can have this. It's really important. It's really easy for the consumer, especially if food allergies and you have intolerances, right? It doesn't have to be fatal, but let's just say you have a dietary restriction. Guys, it's going to become very, very easy. And by the way, this is becoming even more mainstream, okay, with food allergies. And so it starts with educating your staff, number one. Having those protocols in place. If there's a server that comes to your table, maybe ask the table, listen, anyone here have food allergies? I really, really appreciate that when someone actually asks, do you have any food allergies? But at the end of the day, I'm not going to get upset. I always, inform the restaurant or the server of my food allergies, and I let them know, listen, if there's any of these products in here, I could die. So, that is very serious. I don't take it lightly, and I definitely don't, I definitely don't take it lightly. Do you guys have any questions at all? Just curious. Anyone here that has food allergies, that has been affected with food allergies? Know anyone that has food allergies? It's becoming more and more significant. And plus, whether you have it today, who knows? You might even get a food allergy to some crazy thing. I mean, you might think it's crazy. I thought it was crazy being allergic to eggs. I've been eating eggs, oh my gosh, for so long. And all of a sudden I haven't had an egg in 20 years. So, but it's all good. Life is what you make of it, So what else do I want to talk about and get into? I want to discuss certain protocols on what to do in case there's an allergy scare. So main thing that you want to definitely have available is your auto injectors, and you always want to have 2 EpiPens with you, okay? I have asthma. I don't have it now, but I grew up with it, but I always make sure that I have my asthma, anything that is, if you have difficulties breathing, that you have your inhalers, and of course your Benadryl. All right, so super important to have Benadryl in your bag or in your purse. It should be accessible. I carry about a pack of these. Okay, so your Benadryl needs to be available. So what I want to do is say hi to a few people. How are you guys? Thank you guys all for tuning in. So guys, there's a lot of nonprofit organizations out there, and I appreciate them for being proactive and just, I guess making this more mainstream in a sense that for those of you that don't have food allergies, fantastic. You guys are very fortunate and very lucky. But for those of you that, maybe the person beside you has a food allergy, I don't know, let's just use an airplane, for example. If you're on an airplane and you're traveling and, someone has a peanut or a nut allergen. I don't know what's going on with the airlines, but I would have to say that, if there is someone that is deathly allergic to, let's say, peanuts, let's use that as an example because that is very common. And, I believe and I strongly think and I would hope that there's protocols in these airports, the airlines, that they would communicate that and say, but, there was a passenger on a plane that has a severe nut allergy. Please do not, pull out a Snicker bar or a peanuts, like peanut butter, right? I mean, guys, I don't know what your thoughts are about that, but I would think that airlines should really communicate certain protocols and put in place certain parameters, policies in regards to this, because, and it's getting better. I mean, I have to say they are serving allergen-friendly snacks because I've been on the airlines, so thank you for that. I think Porter, I think that there's another, I think even perhaps Cathay Pacific also has an allergen-friendly product as well. I mean, guys, like I said, just bring your own snacks, even for your own self. That's what I do. Okay. But in terms of, these protocols and airlines, and just being informed, it really starts off with the head office. It starts off with, the policies and the systems that are in place at a very high level in terms of educating their staff and their people and implementing these protocols and policies that, will save lives. Will save lives. Okay. Chef Huxka joined. Well, thank you guys all for tuning in. I apologize if this isn't on, if it's been confusing. It will be on Facebook shortly and very soon as well. I will be posting this, but this is part 1 on food allergies and living with food allergies and creating the awareness and spreading the awareness. I'd like to see more options in restaurants when it comes to, for example, your proteins. I know that can't all be done, but I have an egg allergy, and so it's difficult sometimes because there are certain, not all, but there's plenty of restaurants out there that also, have eggs or contain eggs. And whether it's how the food is prepared, I just avoid it altogether, which is easy and simple. But there needs to be definitely more protocols and education when it comes to food allergies and food allergens with the staff. Okay. It's getting better. I'm not going to lie. It's getting better. I know the KEG, for example, they have very, very strict protocols when it comes to food allergies. They take it very seriously. And there's so many companies out there, too, that take it very seriously. I just wanted to let you guys know that I've had really great experiences at certain restaurants I absolutely feel safe at. Okay. So I've got about 10, 15 more minutes. Let's talk about serious allergic reactions, okay? Certain reactions are, for example, if you've never had a reaction in your life, these are the symptoms. You've got hives, so your skin, hives, swelling, itching, those types of symptoms obviously are related to something that you possibly had eaten, or it could be something environmental. Your breathing, super important because your breathing. Okay, so coughing, wheezing, shortness of breath, throat tightening. Oh my gosh, very scary. Swallowing, trouble swallowing, your hoarse voice. Those are some symptoms when it comes to your breathing. Your stomach, so nausea, cramps, vomiting, diarrhea. These are serious signs of allergic reactions. Your heart, so dizziness, fainting, pale or blue color, weak. You're feeling weak and you're about to pass out. That is your heart is really telling your body that, hey, I've got a severe reaction. And sudden anxiety, confusion, or feeling like something is very wrong. So you want to also be in tune and have have a gut instinct about something that you just ate. If you are completely feeling off, guys, I wouldn't hesitate. I would just, call 911 or get medical assistance immediately. Okay. So guys, I just wanted to share with you, part 1 of living with food allergies, food allergy awareness, which needs to increase absolutely in hospitality, in food service, packaged goods, anything that is takeout, okay, like Hot Table, for example. Guys, every place that is serving food today should all be knowledgeable in terms of, okay, the food allergens. If every single ingredient and every single item that they are serving has a food allergen, great, you should note it, right? At least be educated in terms of the ingredients. The chef should know, the owners should know, and they should also relay and communicate everything to their staff because you are dealing with, obviously, people and the public, right? So let's get, those protocols in place. It's going to save a lot of lives. So guys, I want to talk about Lorelyn's Gourmet Desserts because I know, all of you or some of you that are brand new to just, getting to know who I am I am in the desserts business. I started a company called Lorelyn's Gourmet Desserts because of my food allergies. And I've lived with food allergies now for over 20 years. I was diagnosed with the 7 of the top food allergens, which are eggs, dairy, wheat, corn, soy, rice, gluten. In the beginning, okay, not all of them were fatal, but eggs is absolutely anaphylactic. I am anaphylactic to eggs and sesame today. So when it came to desserts and when it came to indulgence, when it came to sweets or anything of that nature, I could only eat fruit. And I said, you know what, guys, I really want to have a real cookie. I was buying products out there I thought they were terrible. Okay, they didn't taste good. And I was just like consuming them, and I'm like, I can't eat this anymore. So I started to bake my own allergen, friendly free products for myself, and which I loved. And I started to, give them out, and I've had friends and family try them. They love them. And then I basically said, hey, you know what? I would love to turn this into a business to give back, and hence the story of Lorelyn's Gourmet Desserts. Okay, so all of these products, my cookies, my muffins, my brownies, I've got a lot more coming out, are free of allergens. They are gluten-free, they are nut-free, they are vegan, plant-based, and they are kosher, and they are absolutely delicious. I made sure that if anyone were to eat my cookies, that they would be like, oh my God, I can't believe these are amazing and so delicious, that you wouldn't even tell the difference, because that is the way I want to eat them. I want to eat like a cookie that actually tastes like a real cookie. So we're launching our 2.0 version this year very soon. I can't wait for you guys. I'll definitely keep you guys posted when that's going to all happen. And there's a secret sauce. I'm not telling exactly what is so new about it, but it's going to be sensational and amazing as well. It's all aligns with who Lorelyn is. And if you've been, following me on my posts, then you'll probably have a good idea. All right, so who else is on? I just want to say hi to everyone. I just want to say thank you guys for tuning in, and just for, listening to my story. And also, this is part 1. This is all about, living with food allergies, sharing with you experiences, giving you some information and some insight on how to be better prepared. And also being more aware of those around you, right? Because, when you're traveling, if you're in an airline, if you're in an airport, let's just say you're in a plane, and, someone has a food allergy on the plane that you are aware of. Well, you know what, guys, let's just be more accommodating. Let's be kind. Let's be more kind. And, let's be more inclusive, I guess, when it comes to those types of situations. But I think kind is a better word. Okay. So yeah, that's it. If you guys have any questions at all, I'd love to hear from you guys. Feel free to send me a note on Instagram or Facebook. I also have a TikTok page, which I just started. Okay, if you guys want to follow me there too, we're going to do a lot of things on TikTok when it comes to Lorelyn's Gourmet Desserts, just so you know. And the products will be also available on Amazon. Okay, so I'm letting you guys know that this 2.0 version of the Lorelyn's Gourmet Desserts products are going to be like the bomb. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out a word. Epic. It's going to be accessible, and I can't wait to share this with all of you out there. We're talking about retailers, we're talking about online, we're talking about, it's going to be, this has always been my mission and vision, was to really change millions and millions and millions of lives, just through my passion and my craft and my love. Okay, so that's it, guys. Lorelyn's Gourmet Desserts, Lorelyns.com. Please, share, follow me on the socials at Lorelyn's Gourmet Desserts or Lorelyn Martin, which is my personal page as well. And every Friday, we're going to have a kitchen talk series on Instagram and Facebook. I still have to get the Facebook rolling. And what else? It's going to be part 2 next week. So there's a lot I want to talk about, a lot I want to share. I want to talk about fair. I want to talk about a lot of nonprofit organizations out there that are, you should follow them. They are very informative, and I really love everything that they're sharing. Okay, so there's a lot of nonprofit organizations out there that I follow and that I see and I read. That, guys, today food allergies is becoming mainstream in my eyes. There's 1 in 2 Canadian households that are affected with food allergies, 1 in 10 adults, and 1 in 13 kids in the United States. That is significant. This is not going away. It is a disease, and it has to be treated, and it's a lifestyle that those that have food allergies have to adapt to, right? Which is what I did. So, guys, thank you so much. Happy Friday. Stay blessed, stay beautiful, stay positive, and thank you so much for just being so wonderful and supportive, and for following in, guys. I can't wait for you guys to try the new products. They are sensational. So stay tuned for more, and please contact me at any time, direct, through my socials, through my email, etc. anytime, and I'll get back to you very soon. If there's anything that I left out, I will definitely discuss this next week's episode, part 2, on living with food allergies and, spreading the awareness of food allergies as well. All right, guys. Love you all. Have a fantastic weekend, and I will see you guys soon. And thank you all for all the love and support throughout the years. All right, cheers. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. God bless.